We all know big is bigger than small. And of course, massive is bigger than big. And mega is even bigger than massive and way bigger than big. Well, this isn't big, and it's not massive, and it's not just mega. This is the Mega Massive Oh My Goodness Merry Mortgage Giveaway from Cable Bahamas. Our grand prize winner will get their mortgage and utilities paid for a full year. Another winner will get their utility payments, and another winner will get all their cable services for an entire year. That's up to $40,000 in prizes in the Mega Massive Oh My Goodness Merry Mortgage Giveaway. If you want to win, just sign up for Rare Voice Bahamaland, the unlimited nationwide home phone service that's packed with features for one low price of just $14.99 a month. This is the time to upgrade your home phone service to Rare Voice Bahamaland, and we'll pay your mortgage and utility payments up to $25,000 for a full year. Rare Voice Bahamaland, the Bahamas' most reliable home phone service with nationwide coverage and a chance to win in the Mega Massive Oh My Goodness Merry Mortgage Giveaway.
A toddler dies in a house fire this afternoon.
Why, if a child was left here, why a child might have been left here alone.
The search continues for two missing Andros residents, a food poisoning outbreak in Acklands. Former PLP MP Frank Edgecombe laid to rest, plus Vandia Sands wins national costume at the 2013 Miss Earth pageant. Those stories and more coming up. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NB12. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Cable 12 Studios. Here are the stories coming out of the NB12 newsroom this Monday evening. A child whose life was claimed by fire in New Providence this afternoon mourned by a Camp Road community as police try to piece together the circumstances that led to the toddler's end. Juan McCartney has the details.
Three-year-old Jeffrey King Jr. lost his life today in this home in Oba Alley off Kemp Road in a fire that some say was started intentionally, but police have yet to give a cause for. The burnt-out husk of the home Jeffrey Jr. shared with his 22-year-old mother, father Jeffrey King Sr., uncle, and others still smoldered as his family watched mortuary officials cart his tiny body away this afternoon as an overcast sky drizzled a light rain over the scene. According to police, the fire started, though they don't yet know how, sometime before 1 this afternoon. Police say when they got there, the 10-room wooden structure was completely engulfed in flames. This eyewitness, who didn't want to appear on camera, said he tried to fight the fire, but the lack of running water in the homes and a faulty public pump nearby made the task pretty much impossible.
So I tried, nothing I could do.
While they battled the blaze, officers got word that there might be a child inside the home, though neighbors had only recalled hearing barks coming from the house. When they extinguished the flames, though, their worst fears were confirmed. Police found the child inside the structure, right over here, next to this dog, the family dog, that they say he was holding when they discovered the body. Though officers said the child's body was burnt beyond recognition, family members had no doubt it was Jeffrey Jr. There were many theories being put forward at the scene, like reports that men came and set the house on fire, and many questions were also being asked, such as, was the 3-year-old left home alone? Superintendent Stephen Dean said detectives were today trying to separate hype from reality, but it was still too soon for definitive answers.
In addition to our fire troops on the ground, we have detectives from Central Detective Unit on the ground assisting with this investigation. It's a very active investigation. We have no conclusion. It's preliminary. We are trying to determine the cause of the fire, why, if a child was left here, why a child might have been left here alone, what is the cause. So we are actively investigating this matter.
Dean confirmed that the young mother is assisting police with the investigation. We saw her crying in a police SUV as the scene cleared. As for the little boy, the neighbor who tried to help remembered him this way.
Sometimes he comes to me, he don't walk, so I can't but neighbor and get a ice cream and stuff like that. He's nice to me, like he love me, he know me good, very good. You know, he call me my name, I love him too.
Lawrence Harrison, a.k.a. LH, frequents the area and knows the family well. He said Jeffrey King Sr. is a man he helped raise. He called for the family to come together and remain calm as police try to sort out exactly what happened.
Grow the father up. Jeffrey King, I grew him up from like a baby as well. I mentored him to try and be the best person he could be. So moving forward, he has changed in a lot of ways to try and get his life on the right track. So I plead the sympathy from me and my family to their family, the Larimores and the Kings, that God would strengthen them and keep them on the right path for peace and love, because all communities need peace and love. Let's not jump to conclusions to cause a war, and let's just stand together, unite ourselves together, and stand firm.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Juan McCartney.
Authorities are still searching for an immigration officer and a woman who were reported missing on Fresh Creek, Andros over the weekend. Police say 28-year-old Tishka Nadia Brainin of Cargill Creek Central, Andros, and 49-year-old Shane Gardner of Love Hill Central, Andros, were last seen in Cargill Creek on Saturday. According to sources close to the investigation, officers found the woman's car at the immigration officer's house. However, there was no sign of the pair or the officer's government-issued vehicle at his residence. Now, police say the pair was reported missing around 1:45 yesterday afternoon. Social media website Facebook was flooded with conflicting reports regarding the pair's whereabouts. It was initially said that Brainin's body was discovered with gunshot wounds and that there was blood discovered in Gardner's home. However, police have denied those reports. According to Superintendent Stephen Dean, it is too early for police to suspect foul play.
We are asking persons who might have information specific to this case and Andros, please inform us. Please let us know. But at this point, it's a missing person investigation. It's a missing person investigation. So we are asking all the people in Andros to rally with us. We need your assistance. Someone might have seen something. Someone might have heard something. We ask you to please contact us. If those persons are, we hope that they are on the island. We want to see them be rescued alive, and that is our plea right now.
Well, Ackland's residents flocked to the Masons Bay Clinic yesterday after a reported foodborne illness outbreak. Michael MP V. Alfred Gray told NB12 that about 60 people suffered from severe vomiting and diarrhea Sunday afternoon. He said he was advised by Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez that dozens of residents who were seen by nurses at the clinic had food poisoning. Now, we're told that all of the affected residents attended a function at one of the churches on the island where food was served. It is believed that some of the food was contaminated, but Gray said there will be investigations to determine the exact cause of the outbreak. Our news team received reports that the clinic was overflowing with ill residents. However, Gray said the incident is no cause for alarm. The Acklands MP said he understands that most of the people who were seen yesterday are feeling better today, and the situation was stabilized. The affected residents were eventually seen by the island's doctor around 11 last night. In other news, Prime Minister Perry Christie projecting a positive economic outlook for the country next year. The Prime Minister told a crowd of PLP supporters that he expects a number of developments to come on stream, particularly in the Family Islands, where he says over 1,000 jobs are expected to be generated. Our Jasmine Bonamy has more in this report.
During his hour-long address, Christie updated party supporters on a number of national issues, including developments in Grand Bahama and Bimini. Christie was the keynote speaker at the party's 60th anniversary luncheon at the Sheraton Nassau Beach Resort yesterday afternoon. The Prime Minister promised that 2014 will be better than 2013 as his government is focused on making it better for Bahamians.
Tell them you heard him say next year is going to be a good year for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And tell them this PLP government will not back off for any decision we make. We are going to make the good decisions. We are going to make decisions in the right interest of the Bahamian people, and we are prepared at all times.
Christie spoke specifically to a few islands where projects were recently announced. He also referenced the $100 million development for San Salvador and the reef on Grand Bahama.
The fight in Bimini today isn't whether you got jobs. It's whether you got too many, or whether we're protecting the environment. or whether or not Bimini is getting too much. But you got jobs. And there are going to be 800 new jobs by the middle of January and counting, and no problem. In San Salvador, I just announced over full employment in San Salvador. The $100 million development in San Salvador, so San Salvador will join Bimini. In Grand Bahama, by the 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th of January, 1,000 jobs. People should be working in the Reef Hotel in Grand Bahama.
The Prime Minister said his government is continuing with the harbor planned for Abaco by the former Ingram administration, which was promised in the by-election. Christie said it will help boost the economy of North Abaco, and the government is committed to spending the money necessary to get started on that next year. Christie said his government is aggressive in pursuing investments for the country to fulfill promises of relief for the Bahamian people, and from all accounts, things are looking up.
I verily believe that we are going to be able to say to the people of the Bahamas, we have justified the confidence you repose in us, and we will show you day by day, month by month, and year by year that we are in full flight to bring relief to all the people of this country.
During much of 2013, the PLP was criticized after it was revealed that fewer than 700 jobs were generated overall during the first year of Christie's second term in office. Before the May 2012 general election, the PLP had promised to create 10,000 immediate jobs if voted into office. According to the most recent labor force survey, a net total of 665 jobs were added to the economy. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Directives from BEC Chairman Leslie Miller to cut the salaries of employees at the corporation whom he claims were double-dipping for sick time pay are being retracted by government order. That's according to the new head of the National Congress of Trade Unions, who was in meetings with BEC line staff union representatives and the government today. Paige McCartney has more in this report.
NCTU President John Pinder said he was informed that in spite of the Prime Minister and the Minister of Labor advising BEC Chairman Leslie Miller a few weeks ago that he was not within his rights to cut off the staff's pay, he still gave instructions to have salaries cut on Friday. Pinder said while he can't say what the average salary deduction amount was per employee, at least one was at risk to lose up to $900 from this current pay period.
As a result of that, I personally contacted the Minister of Labor. I called the Prime Minister, didn't get a return call from him, and I spoke to the Director of Labor, and they all agreed that it shouldn't happen. Eventually, the Minister of Labor returned a call to me indicating that he had advised the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister to advise Mr. Miller to retract the deductions and cause those persons' salaries to be corrected in time for payday, which is due tomorrow.
Pinder said he believes that directive from Miller on Friday was simply the BEC chairman flexing his muscles as a bully.
And he's making it perfectly clear he's Leslie Miller the podcast, he's a bully. Okay, that's not the way to do business in a 21st century society, or persons who are trying to ensure that we improve our image regionally and globally. But these things hit the internet right away. And so I don't think there's a place for bulliness at this time. I think the minister ought to understand that he had inherited an organization that was used to certain practices, and certainly there was an industrial agreement that speaks to certain benefits and the manner in which the corporation was run. Okay?
Pinder said although he appreciates that Miller is trying to cut costs at the financially strapped corporation, he must be cognizant of the agreements between the establishment and the union, even if they are unfavorable.
At the time when the industrial agreement was signed, it was agreed to, if that was a part of the industrial agreement, or even if it was a practice and you wish to discontinue the practice, then there's a protocol. Whereas you may send a warning on the effective 2014, something like that, that we would discontinue this practice of allowing that to happen. However, though, if it's in the individual's industrial agreement, then you have to get the union to agree with you and negotiate out of it. And the union may, as well as they may not agree to the entire thing being taken away. Sometimes we will say, well, okay, since the members were used to this, you probably can take 75% now, 50% later, another 25%, and then eventually we may just bring it down to nil. But to just go ahead and recover all of that at one time, certainly it'll be very taxing on those persons who lose that kind of monies.
The NCTU president said BEC's general manager, Kevin Baston, who has been in charge of running the corporation for the past 2 consecutive governments, should really be the person questioned as to why BEC workers were allowed to get what Miller calls excessive overtime pay or double dip for sick pay benefits. Pinder said this could have all been avoided if Miller had simply followed protocol and sat down with the union before making brash decisions. For NB12, I'm Paige McCartney.
Also, you might have noticed that there were no cruise ships in Nassau Harbor today. The Disney Dream, the Allure of the Seas, and the Carnival Conquest were supposed to call on the port of Nassau this morning, but did not dock because of a weather system that entered the northwest Bahamas late last night. The Disney Dream tried to dock but was unable to due to wind gusts of up to 38 knots.